Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the casino and sports betting industries. This week in our state and national reports, we're going to be talking February and March sports betting reports. Deals, we've got a new prediction app on the market.
Okay.
We've got a sports betting deal for Missouri, and also a sports network does a deal to expand its reach.
Okay.
How's that for a tease?
All right.
Industry updates, licenses, launches, cease and desists, and exits.
More cease and desist, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't have a show without cease and
More
desist
lawyer
now.
news. Okay.
And we're going to finish up a legislative roundup with the states well known for gambling, Alaska and South Carolina.
Okay. All right.
Interesting combo right there. We'll be right back to start talking state and national reports.
The average cost of mesothelioma treatment can exceed $400,000. Families often face losing their homes or life savings just to pay the bills. If you or a loved one worked in these industries and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation to protect your family. At Rights and Claims, we've helped families recover over $1 billion to cover medical costs, lost wages, and more. Let us help you secure their future with the compensation you deserve. Call 800-596-4889.
The IRS has collected over $1 billion in past due taxes this year, and they're aggressively targeting more taxpayers. Don't wait until the IRS comes knocking. Our team is here to help you resolve your tax debts before things escalate. Every tax situation is unique, and so is our approach. We tailor solutions to fit your specific needs, giving you the personalized attention you deserve. The IRS has resumed collection enforcement. Don't wait until it's too late. Our team can help you resolve your tax issues before liens, levies, or passport restrictions kick in. Behind on filing taxes? We specialize in getting you back on track by filing past returns and negotiating with the IRS. Does the IRS claim that you owe money that you don't have? We fight to lower your tax debt to an amount that you can afford. United Tax Fix. Expert help, personalized service, and the peace of mind you deserve.
Call 800-852-6985. That's 800-852-6985.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off the state and national reports still back in the month of February. Not too far back, but just far back enough.
Okay.
It's about a month and a half or so. We're going to start off with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and their February report.
Okay.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has now passed $36.6 billion in all-time handle.
That's pretty good. I mean,
Yep.
that's just a huge market.
Yes.
I mean, and they got big population densities. They have Harrisburg, and of course, the big one is Philadelphia. So, their handle is always sky high.
Yes, and Fanduel passed $13.6 billion in all-time handle. DraftKings, $9 billion in all-time handle.
Oh, okay.
Staying with the Commonwealths in our country, we're going to Massachusetts now. That's their February sports betting report, and with that report, Massachusetts became the 7th state to pass $250 million in all-time tax revenue.
You know, DraftKings is king up there. So, they have their corporate headquarters in Boston, and, their presence is big in New England, but especially in Massachusetts.
Speaking of DraftKings,
Told you? What'd I say?
They've had their 6th consecutive month with at least $300 million in monthly handle.
Okay.
Encore Boston Harbor, unfortunately, recorded its 2nd monthly loss over the last 3 months.
For sports betting, huh?
For sports betting.
Yeah, they do a lot of events there. We have a place up in Massachusetts, and they're always, there's always a, big gala there or a big fundraiser, which is great. It's a beautiful, beautiful property.
Yes.
If you go there, absolutely. If you go into Boston, check out Boston Harbor. It's actually technically in Everett, but it's on Boston Harbor, and it's like 1 mile away from Boston, I guess.
That's why the name is Boston Harbor, not Encore Boston.
Yeah, it's not Encore Boston.
Yeah.
It's Encore Boston Harbor because technically it's not in Boston. It's in Everett, but it's on the Boston Harbor.
But Boston is a host city for purposes of revenue.
Apparently they have ferry service over there, so I don't know where you catch, or they call it a water bus, or
it's a water shuttle.
Water shuttle. I don't know where these. There's a couple of shuttles. I took the shuttle one time from Quincy to Boston, but then they have one down to Higham, and I don't know where this one is. There's
you're talking state versus
Encore but I don't know if Encore has their own, or does the state have their going to it. I don't even know. So,
and even though Encore did report a monthly loss, the all-time retail handle for the state of Massachusetts, or the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, past $300 million.
Yeah, no, it's a good market.
Moving over to the state of Indiana, we have their February report. Indiana became the 9th state to pass $21 billion in all-time handle.
Okay.
Fanduel passed $600 million in all-time revenue. 6 of their retail books did finish in the red, though, for the month.
Okay.
Retail's kind of suffering a little bit versus the online.
Maybe in the summer months when people are out more to the casinos and to the retail sports books, I can tell you, sitting here in wintertime in New Jersey, I wouldn't want to go anywhere and go to any of the casinos. You sit in your couch and you just bet. So
yeah. Moving over to the state of Louisiana, their February sports betting report, Louisiana became the 12th state to pass $150 million in tax revenue. Parlays. Louisiana's big on their parlays.
Yeah, so.
Almost not as big as Illinois.
Illinois
but pretty
is
big.
Huge. Well, let me tell you something. Louisiana is one of those very interesting states. The entire state isn't sports betting legal. I mean, there are certain parishes, what we call counties, that don't allow sports betting. So, geofencing is a big issue in Louisiana because certain counties allow sports betting, certain counties, I'm using counties as parishes, and what they call it. Certain ones don't allow it. So, it's a strange sports betting state.
Yeah, $30 million in revenue, 3 of the last 4 months.
And they're still doing well in sports betting.
We're going to finish up the state and national reports going to New York. We didn't do New York last week, and I've got 2 weeks worth of New York reports, plus the last report for New York, which was the week ending March 23rd, was also the end of the fiscal year for New York.
Okay, let me make a prediction. That number is huge, right?
For which one?
The end of the fiscal year.
The full fiscal year. I'll go through the numbers. Well, first of all, week ending March 23rd.
All right.
Fourth consecutive week with at least $500 million in handle. Third consecutive week with at least $40 million in gross gaming revenue.
Yeah.
Fanduel led in handle for the first time after 3 weeks, being behind DraftKings.
Oh, okay. Usually it's Fanduel ahead weekly. So, okay, good for DraftKings.
Usually it's Fanduel leading handle and revenue because they have a better hold, but for the last couple of weeks it's been DraftKings, and from what I saw here the last week of March, DraftKings did have a better hold, so they had more revenue.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so they didn't lead in handle, but they led in revenue.
Okay.
But regarding the end of the fiscal year, it's fiscal year 24-25 for New York.
And this is going to be huge.
Yes.
Right?
Handle of $23.8 billion.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Gross gaming revenue, $2.168 billion. Adjusted, which is the 49% that goes to the books, $1.062 billion. And taxes of $1.1 billion.
Insane.
Yes.
They're insane numbers.
But interestingly enough, below 10%
that does
hold.
Better than
below
some,
10% hold.
That does better than some countries.
Yes.
Yeah, below 10% hold. That means people are making smart bets.
Yes.
It's a lot more money is going out to the bettors. So.
And in terms of the fiscal year, Fanduel led and handled $9.167 billion. Revenue of just under $1 billion. DraftKings was second with $8.55 billion. About $735 million in revenue.
Wow.
Caesars was next, BetMGM, and also for all-time handle now for the mobile industry, since we're now through another fiscal year. All-time mobile industry handle has passed $64.47 billion.
Wow, unbelievable! And it's just going to get better because I think they're revving up what they call downstate casinos, which means the New York area
casinos.
This is just
mobile sports betting.
And this is, and of course it's just mobile, but when you go to a sports book or a casino, what do? They really try to get you to sign up for their apps and things like that. So you're going to see a big push like that when New York finally gets its casinos in the Manhattan area or wherever they go. But no, it's just going to get better and better gaming wise for New York.
Well, if that new legislation passes with the change of the tax structure and the increase in licensees, we may see these numbers grow even more there too. So.
Can you imagine a sports book in the center of Manhattan?
Yeah, it's called your phone.
It's a retail sports book in the center of Manhattan.
Okay,
how awesome is that going to be? How about a poker room in the middle of Manhattan?
I haven't seen poker being included in any of the casino projects.
That'd be an interesting thing.
That's it for State and National. We're going to start talking deals right now. Starting off our deals, we're heading out to Missouri for a sports betting deal between Bet365 and Major League Baseball's St. Louis Cardinals.
Bet365 has been in the news a lot lately. Where'd they get into Illinois?
Yep, then
and
Tennessee.
Then they got into Tennessee, and now they're doing a deal with St. Louis Cardinals.
Right. They're already in 13 states. This gives them market access to a 14th.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, under the deal that they just did with the Cardinals, Bet365 is now the Cardinals' official sports betting partner. Doesn't say if it's exclusive or not.
Missouri doesn't even have sports betting yet, so
well, this is why it's a market access deal.
They should be off and running right away when they launch. I guess Missouri is going to be the only state in 2025
possibly
to allow sports betting. It
Possibly.
looks like that's what's going to happen, but like you said, possibly. But it looks like that's going to be the only state in 2025.
We'll see how some
unless
of the other
there's somewhere
legislation moves.
something's moving up the pack and that I'm not seeing it right away. But
Bet365 gains advertising rights to Busch Stadium,
wow,
including an all-inclusive service package yet to be really announced called the Bet365 Bridge. Signage posted all around the stadium, and Cardinals starting lineups are going to be brought to you by Bet365.
Okay.
Bet365 is also going to be on like the pregame show, the Insider TV show, the official website of the Cardinals
I'm trying to picture the stadium. Is there a bridge somewhere?
I don't know if this is an actual bridge, but I don't remember Busch Stadium offhand. I think there is a bridge in the outfield.
It's still called Busch Stadium.
Yes, it's Busch Stadium.
It's still okay. It's not whatever bank stadium or whatever
no.
crypto.
I was waiting for
Bet365
Field.
So I'm trying to think of if there's a bridge. They use the word bridge in their.
Well, I think there's a Anheuser-Busch bridge in the outfield.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I don't know if it's a walkway or something else.
I'll go back and look at the pictures.
I don't know.
I gotta take a look at that.
But like I said, I'm still waiting for somebody to come up with Bet365 Field.
Yeah, that's the next step.
Yep,
that's the next step.
Well, you got Caesars down in the Superdome.
Mm-hmm. That's why not a ball field?
Exactly. Moving out to the sports network deal I teased at the top of the show, we've got Fanduel Sports Network announcing 2 strategic partnerships with SB Nation and Yahoo Sports.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's basically aimed at growing the subscription service for Fanduel Sports Network.
Well, I know Yahoo does videos and things like that, and I know this is for Fanduel Network, but I'm not sure about SB Nation. Do they do videos? And
they do video content, they do blogs, and it's basically the SB Nation content part of this is a content deal where it's going to have Fanduel Sports Network sign-up links and everything else. So they're just trying to grow their subscriber base.
So is Fanduel taking some of the programming from Yahoo and SB?
No,
you're not going to see, because like I said, Yahoo, I'm familiar with Yahoo because I was on my phone watching it. So I'm just wondering if the people I see on Yahoo, will I see them on DraftKings?
Well, the Yahoo part of it, Fanduel Sports Network and Yahoo Sports will promote reciprocal extended free trial offers.
Okay.
To their customer bases,
all right.
They're using Yahoo Fantasy Plus, that site mainly.
Okay,
I didn't even know that. I watch millions.
I see it on my phone, Yahoo and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is the fantasy sports site that has a huge subscription basis.
All right, good. Okay.
Last deal is what I talked to you about at the beginning, the prediction app. We now have Sports Illustrated announcing a partnership with UK-based media firm Galactic to launch SI Predict.
Oh, okay.
Another market prediction app, basically. Not sports betting. They took great pains to actually say they weren't a sports betting app. They said that users can bet on aspects of sports events except game outcomes.
Okay.
They're talking stadium attendance, halftime show set lists, but not on what team will win, all that. But if you go take a look at their trailer for it, it has prop bets on it.
Oh,
that you can find at any sports book.
All right.
So take what they're saying with a grain of salt. It's a prediction app. I will go with what they're saying here. I don't know. This is getting out of hand. There's so many of these now.
Yeah, it's one of the... Well, Sports Illustrated has the name, so, it's...
Didn't work for a sports book.
Well, I just saw them in the news recently, but it wasn't for any gaming. Well, they were in Red Bull Stadium or something like that, but it was a food segment on the news. And I guess they have the SI Lounge or something like that.
They licensed the name for SI Tickets, SI Resorts, which is the resort groups, and SI Studios, which is one of the ones that's in Red Bull a football club.
Yeah, but this was
it's a restaurant.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what those are, SI Studios.
Some guy was trying food from the chef from the SI something or other.
I
don't
just,
even know what the hell they call it. So.
I just see Sports Illustrated didn't work as a sports book. What makes them think it's going to work as a prediction app?
I know
there's tons of them out there now, and
know.
a lot of them are running afoul with some of the state gaming boards right now.
See, that's a difficult area to get in because you just don't know the rules and regulations, and if you're going to, you're going to do a whole list of cease and desist things. I guess pretty soon. This is what this show should have a segment of just cease and desist letters. But it's one of those interesting fields of gaming that it's really unsettled.
It's like social casinos.
Well, yeah, I know. So
and that's going through a whole change right now.
We'll see what happens with SI. I wish them the best of luck, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, this might work outside the United States more so than in the United States.
I don't know how.
I
don't know what their marketing plan is. It's one of those things where, they're going to advertise so much that they're going to get the attention of the regulators and see
more
what the
so than an audience. Yeah.
That's what happened with fantasy sports. Yep. My God, they were they were advertising on this show. I think I was reading commercials every week.
Yep.
With fantasy sports, and all of a sudden, it caught the attention of regulators.
Yep,
things
and
like
the courts,
and the courts. Yeah, well, like I said, this is going to be an interesting issue this coming year.
That's it for the deals. We're going to start talking industry updates right after this.
You may want to attend college,
but you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
The convenience of taking classes where you want.
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
So you can become who you want.
South University Online.
Call 800-836-3936.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our industry updates pretty much like how we started the deal segment. We're going with Bet365.
Oh, okay.
Bet365, while they announced the market access deal for Missouri, also announced they will be leaving the Chinese regulated market effective March 27th.
Boy,
so it happened a couple weeks ago.
Last 2 weeks have been all Bet365.
Some good, some bad. This is a strategic move to try and get the U.S. market a bigger push.
Okay. All right.
And, I think it's smart.
Yeah, I know.
China's an unperforming market for them.
Just because any sports book is leaving a market isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a readjustment of their priorities. How about that one? That's a good one.
Well, you want to
They're readjusting their priorities.
Well, here, I'll read their statement.
We're not leaving. You're leaving us.
Group has decided to align its focus to its core competencies in its core markets.
Okay.
That's basically what you said in marketing speak.
They use the word core twice in a sentence?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. That's interesting.
Well, hey, no one said they were language masters.
Core. What was that sentence again?
Focus its core competencies in its core markets.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot of core speak.
Yes. Moving over to the state of Massachusetts, we have the Massachusetts Secretary of State's office issuing a subpoena to Robinhood.
Okay.
The trading platform that has recently launched its sports betting prediction market. Mm-hmm. This is a report from Reuters. The subpoena is requesting copies of Robinhood's marketing materials, as well as the names of all Massachusetts residents who requested to trade on NCAA basketball.
Ah, okay.
Yes. All right. And now, this isn't the first time Massachusetts has gone after Robinhood. Back in 2020, they went after Robinhood, accusing the platform of violating several state securities laws.
Oh, okay.
So here they're at it again.
All right. Well,
I don't know if this one's going to fly. I don't know if they have to really comply with this subpoena, but
it's a
they're going to
subpoena,
fight.
so-
They're going to fight. They're going to fight it.
First off, they probably should have all this information readily available anyway, so they can probably just send it on over and whatever.
First of all,
we knew we were going to have problems with you guys in
then
Massachusetts.
You
So
turn
here.
you turn someone's name over.
We have nothing to hide. Here's everything.
Yeah, but
so.
if you turn someone's name over, that's a violation of any kind of privacy rights for the individual that placed the bet.
Well,
I'm sorry, placed the prediction.
Well, hey, like I said, it's the same thing where, SI, I'm sure, is watching this closely. If they're launching a prediction market, this is what you're going to have to deal with some regulators in some states.
Well, Kalshi is suing New Jersey because they were sent a cease and desist, and they were told return all the money of the people that use their sports prediction services. So we may be seeing the same thing in Massachusetts here.
That's why gaming law is very interesting. If you're going to law school and anyone out there want to go to law school and want to get into the gaming industry, we always need lawyers and accountants and MBAs. So
very quickly here, we've got Nebraska. We've got the $185 million Grand Island Casino Resort opening its permanent facilities in the state, 24 hours a day, year-round. It's going to have a new casino featuring 20 live table games, blackjack, craps, roulette, Pai Gow, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Mississippi Stud, and will also house Nebraska's first poker room.
Oh, look at you, Nebraska. Nice. So that's pretty cool.
Yes. Moving over to Nevada, we've got the 3 affiliated tribes of the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation buying more land on the South Las Vegas Strip. They bought a plot of land across the way from the Luxor.
Okay.
Project plans include a 15,000 to 20,000 seat event center, potential resort development, future partnerships with major sports organizations. None have been announced yet, no formal agreements. The documents do also include plans for a hotel casino that were filed with the Clark County.
Okay.
Over in Colorado, we've got the Black Hawk City Council agreeing to become the first municipality in the nation to join the newly formed National Association Against iGaming.
Against.
Again.
Okay. All right.
And last but not least...
No, you're making way too much money. We don't need any more money in the state. Is that what they're saying?
A lot of membership in big names.
All
Churchill Downs is part of the group.
All right.
Cordish Companies, Hard Rock Sioux City's part of it. There's a lot of big names involved in the coalition.
Okay. All
and last but not least, we have Michigan. And Michigan is becoming famous not just because it's an iGaming powerhouse, but it's also sending out cease and desist letters like there's nobody's business.
Well, if it's for unlicensed, unregulated offshore sites, good for them.
10 more illegal offshore operators were sent cease and desist.
The one interesting,
all run by the same company.
Oh, okay. I guess it's like 10 skins under one thing.
Basically.
Are they using that term, skins?
No, they're just individual companies formed by this group.
Okay, but it's just absolutely. What's shocking to me is when we talk about these cease and desists is how many unlicensed, unregulated sites there actually are. It's just absolutely amazing. I think one week you read off the names of all these unregulated sites.
I'll read the names off here.
I guarantee I probably haven't heard of 99.9% of them. Go ahead, read off the names.
Aladdin's Gold Casino.
No.
All-Star Slots. I've heard that one.
I haven't heard that.
Buzzluck.
No. Buzzluck?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Club World Casinos.
All right.
Crypto Reels.
Okay.
High Noon Casino.
Okay.
Lucky Red Casino. Manhattan Slots Casino.
All right.
Which is not in New York.
Okay.
Real Spin Casino and Slaughter Casino.
Slaughter.
Yes.
Okay. No, I've never heard of them. Never heard of one of them.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely amazing how many platforms there are that are unlicensed and unregulated. And, you put your money in them at your own risk because putting the money in is easy. Trying to take the money out is probably harder. So a lot harder.
Yep. That's it for industry updates. We're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative roundup, we're going out to Alaska.
Okay.
The great gaming state of Alaska. Now, we talked previously. They just launched one retail or land-based casino in an annex, basically.
They have a casino out there, yeah. Well, I don't know what town it's in or city it's in.
A gaming
facility.
Well, you can't call it a casino. It's in an annex.
All right. Well, I mean, are you gambling for money there or legally?
Yes.
Well, that's a casino.
Well,
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I think the tribe prefers gambling facility.
Okay, gambling facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
But yeah, put that in neon. Yeah. Gambling facility.
That's a lot of neon.
That's a lot of neon.
But here we have Alaska. We have a House Bill number 145 being introduced, which would propose the authorization and regulation of mobile sports betting in the state. Proposes Alaska offer up to 10 mobile wagering licenses. Mm-hmm. And the bill would require the Alaska Department of Revenue to oversee regulated wagering, with its commissioner having the authority to issue or renew mobile sports betting licenses, and also require the operators or the licensees, however you want to phrase it, to use software monitoring system to track betting irregularities.
Okay.
Yep. And also responsible gambling measures.
It's pretty standard kind of thing. So,
but
I don't know if
it's new for Alaska.
I don't know if that's going to fly. I don't know if that's going to take a couple of years to. Sometimes when these fail, they go to referendum. When people vote on it, but sometimes they don't. So we'll see what path they take to mobile sports betting.
Well, from what I've seen in the past, other than that one gambling facility, the state seems more open to staying away from building a casino than it is having gambling. And I think maybe mobile may fly more or go further in the process than land-based.
What Tennessee only has online and mobile.
Virginia
sports
started
betting.
off that way too, and then they went to retail.
Who has it in New England? There's a state. Is it Vermont?
Yep.
Vermont only has online sports betting.
Well, technically also New Hampshire, because they have charitable gaming. They don't have actual casinos.
See, now we're splitting hairs now. So
you have to with this stuff. And we're going to finish up here with South Carolina, where we have Senate Bill 444 introduced, which proposes to legalize and regulate sports wagering under the oversight of a newly created South Carolina Sports Wagering Commission.
Okay.
Up to 8 sportsbook licenses to be given out under this proposal, with an interesting qualifying requirement for any operator willing to come into the state. They have to be active in at least 5 other U.S. states.
Okay,
and
that's easy.
That one's easy. But they also have to have letters of reference from regulators of some of those states to determine their appropriateness.
Okay.
They got to have reference letters.
Well, look, I mean,
I understand that's a nice requirement to have.
That's, they're putting that in writing. But look, any time when there's a new state or a new licensee, regulators from one state always check on the other states. They always talk to the other states. So, that's just putting it in, written form now, and they're making it a requirement in written form, but that's always been, there's always communication between states.
Well, this is actually,
and it's interesting. The thing about this is they have to be operational in 5 other states, which is an interesting philosophy. We were just talking about Tennessee. They were priding themselves on, we have local sportsbook operators. They're Tennessee. They're typical Tennessee. Mm-hmm. They're all Tennessee. They were born, bred, and they work in Tennessee alone. So, and, it's a different philosophy from South Carolina's doing, saying, we want national sports books, really. So interesting business method they're doing there.
Well, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. If you've been watching on TV, the ticker's been flying by below us with additional news stories, domestic and international gaming stories. We've got food and entertainment news stories, as well as industry conferences listed on the ticker. And as always, on Monday mornings when this show is released, there will be a full print version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. You'll be taken to the written book report there. Contains stories we talked about here, contains some stories from the ticker, and contains stories we don't have a chance to talk about anywhere else. They'll be on the blog at your convenience. And as always, announcements, info at turnpikesportsradio.com.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.